Don't worry. This isn't Dark Souls. I haven't tricked you.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, this is Ninja Blade.
Ninja Blade.
Yep, this is Ninja Blade. I should point out these horizontal rolling lines here. This is actually part of the. This is an artistic choice.
Artistic license. I like it.
Yes. Your monitor is not screwed up. Anyway, this is Ninja Blade for the Xbox 360. This is pre-Souls from Software, like almost as pre-Souls as you can get. Like this was 1 month before Demon Souls came out.
So would you say this was the B team working on this?
Oh yeah, this was definitely the B team working on this before while Demon Souls was being worked on. I also kind of find it funny that they were working on 2 simultaneous console exclusives on competing consoles at the same time.
That's because that's always a good idea, right?
All right, so here, just going to show off the settings, and there's a QTE difficulty setting, which I'll explain how that works a little later, but I'm going to set that to hard.
Okay.
I'll explain the differences. Here's the other big gimmick. This game defaults to a bilingual voice track. There are American and Japanese characters in this game, and our main protagonist is biracial, so characters will be speaking in both English and Japanese, depending on context.
Interesting.
And also it's got some, it's got some basic HUD options as well. We're going to do show all. And enemy info, which we'll get into later. This game did also have a PC port. Not that great. From Software's never really done well with their PC ports. Yeah, this is a character action game. It is probably like the only time that From Software's really tried something of this caliber. Like even the Souls games are very slow. This one tries to be like sort of Ninja Gaiden style.
So spectacle action type of title.
Oh yeah, very big emphasis on the spectacle. By the way, I'm going to be cutting out the rest of the loading screens. I'm only going to show it this once because they all have the same text that appears. Like normally, like with RE5 or stuff like that, they would have a different text to explain backwards the story, but it all shows this one piece of text about the alpha worms. They will be very important later. As in right now. August 12th, 2015. Feels like 3 years ago. So yeah, this game came out in 2009, so this was near future stuff.
Okay.
Oh, and this is our main protagonist. No, just kidding, it's just some guy. This is all rendered in real time, which, it's pretty impressive for the era. Oh, our Japanese businessman, he's spotting something. His businessman sense is going off.
Oh no. Let's run down that alley and do some accounting.
Yeah, if the English only option was selected, he would be speaking in English. Oh, hey, her eyes are up there. Come on, guy. You're way too old for him.
No. Higher.
Higher. Come on. It's a good thing that all Japanese businessmen are also doctors, and that their optical ports have zoom-in functions that can go right into their eyes.
Right into the eyes, into the brain, the horrifying mess of whatever that is.
Yeah, you gotta get that checked out.
Oh god, she's got worms.
Yeah, worms are like a recurring theme for this game's. Let's just call it what they are. They're BOWs. This came out around the same time as RE5 did.
All right, a little RE influence here.
Yeah, this game isn't so much inspired by anime as much as it is inspired by other things that are inspired by anime. This game is also meant to be it started as like a spiritual successor to the Okoge series that From also did on Xbox. It started that way, but basically the only thing those two franchises have in common is that they've got like action adventure elements.
It took them 21 hours to realize worm people were running around the city?
Yes. Yeah, and that becomes even more ridiculous. 24 hours, actually. And 2,000 people died, and this becomes even more ridiculous once we learn some of the backstory. Like, we haven't even gotten into the main plot dump about what these worms are like.
Plane full of ninjas, standard Japanese army, right?
Yeah, this is your bioterrorism unit. This is the BSAA of this universe.
I'm hoping they don't fail as hard as the BSAA.
Yeah, the Japanese Prime Minister has decided that ninja are the best things to send. Also, I wish that Yuri Lowenthal voiced more asshole characters like this.
No shoot. No shoot. Buddy, no shoot. Come back.
He doesn't need it. He's a ninja. Also, he's voiced by Yuri Lowenthal. He has the Dagger of Time.
Oh, superb. So we can rewind back to the plane and grab it.
Also, he has web shooters. I'm sorry, I've run out of Yuri Lowenthal characters. So yeah, now because it's just this character, the other character is his father. They're going to establish that later. They've switched to Japanese now. There are also tracks for only Japanese and only English. Also, this guy's Andy. He's the best character in the game.
Yeah, right.
So there's a lot of QuickTime events in this game, and it's got a pretty interesting way of interpreting QuickTime events.
All right, like the man said, let's impress him.
Yeah, here's our first QuickTime event. Oh no, I messed it up, but don't worry. It'll just rewind time. You can get another chance at it.
That is way more forgiving than most From Software titles.
Yeah, this actually does have a negative impact on your overall score, but really the only thing that does is that it's a leaderboard thing, which I don't even think this game's leaderboards are still up on Xbox Live. Anyway, so I'm playing on hard, which means that the inputs are randomized. If you're playing on normal, the inputs actually kind of make sense, like relative to what actions you're performing. So, like, strong attacks will always have the same button inputs, things like that. But on hard, it's all randomized.
Yeah, I think I found a few.
Don't let them sneak up on you.
So, this guy's voice actor is... Oh, yeah, sorry. Carriers. We got actual gameplay. I forgot what my tabs tapes are. So, yeah, you got healing crystals. They heal you, obviously. And right now, all we can do is press the X button for your basic strong attack. It does have a couple of twists on the basic, like, Ninja Gaiden action formula, which we'll get into. So, right here, instead of a heavy attack, you have a ranged attack, which is basically an attempt to sort of make a single button for the Stinger, equivalent to Devil May Cry.
Okay.
And it tries to do stuff with launching, which we'll get into next episode. It's kind of awkward, but it's fun to watch. This game is a lot more LP friendly than it is playing friendly, which is why I consider this more spectacle than fighter. Yeah, I even though I'd actually played through this level a couple of times to test it, it's still kind of awkward just getting through this, because I was used to playing through this with all the other weapons unlocked.
It looks pretty fluid so far, but I mean, I didn't play it, so I mean, how awkward are we talking?
Awkward enough. Like, it's not so bad when you only just have a couple enemies here, but also you've noticed now that there's that one cutscene of Ken, our protagonist, his eyes flashing. That always shows up. So there are no counterattacks. However, if you're blocking during certain actions, you'll get an extra QTE. These are the only QTEs in the game that are possible to lose, and if you fail them, you lose a bunch of health. So now it unlocks the ability to dash. You mash RT. So this guy's voice actor is Chris Edgerly. He's done a bunch of things. You might know him as Peter Potamus from Harvey Birdman.
We got that thing he sent us.
Yeah. And so yeah, that's fire is pretty annoying. Fire is like one of the main elements in this game that you can't directly attack. There is a way to counter fire, but we don't have it yet. You can't deflect. We'll learn later that we'll be able to deflect projectiles, but we can't actually deflect projectiles that are on fire, and we can't touch enemies that are on fire either.
Makes no sense, but we'll chalk it up to artistic license.
Yep. So here's the other big gimmick. This is the Totome. This is I think it's Japanese for finishing move or something like that. It is the big climactic QTE at the end of major boss fights. On normal, the Totome prompt is always the Y button.
El Gigante did not age well.
Oh, we got blood crystals as well. We were going to call them red orbs, but Capcom was going to sue the pants off of us if we did. Damn it, Dad. Stop kill stealing me. That actually is our protagonist, Dad. I forgot about this cutscene. I love how perfectly straight that building falls, too.
It's getting away. Andy, don't lose it.
Something to be said for Japanese construction.
Big shouldn't be too hard to follow.
Yeah, it's great for level design.
Oh, yeah.
Up this rubble.
I mean, you ever wonder why so many video games are set in Tokyo? That's why.
Earthquake? You mean the alarm clock?
Yeah, listen closely to the sound here. Yeah, that's the sound you will hear every time you pick up health or experience in this game. It's great. Also, yeah, you could just like smash up cardboard boxes for experience and health, stuff like that.
I'd like to know what instructions they gave to the audio department for that. We need something that sounds like a slurping, smacking sound.
It's probably just like lamb guts or some other things that they use for Foley. Also, in some minor cutscenes like this, you can move around. Doesn't happen very often, but it's nice when it does. And yes, there's basic parkour and stuff like that. It kind of feels like if you play Prince of Persia Forgotten Sands, it has that awkward feel to it where the parkour feels slower than actually running.
Okay.
And oh look, we're gonna pick up our first health piece. We're not gonna be getting too many of the health or chi pieces and something else later, but we're also gonna get introduced to another great piece of level design. This game loves to ambush you. Not quite to the extent of something like Ninja Gaiden 2, but it's still pretty ridiculous.
Going for the cheap jump scare.
Yeah, it's basically the action game equivalent of a jump scare, I guess. I kind of feel like the first time I was playing this game that this was sort of like a Mega Man and Zero relationship between our son and dad here.
Quickly. We must
I'm
go
super
after
powerful and you're just a wuss. Follow me.
Yes, we must go after it. I am saying this in English, even though we are both Japanese and no one else is around. As much as I like the bilingual aspect of it, there are certain sections where characters speak languages make language switches that, oh god, that make no sense.
And now I'm seeing a little Prince of Persia in that.
Up this wall. Faster.
Oh, speaking of, we're gonna do wall running. There's basic wall running mechanics, only on certain walls though.
It's getting away. Hurry.
And we got wall jumping. It feels a little like a more truncated version of the wall running from Ninja Gaiden series. So yeah, this game only now it's introducing us the ability to block. And these enemies with the gun arms, obviously they can shoot projectiles.
He had to spend that time learning to not get hit.
Yeah. Also, check this out. I was able to deflect a projectile in the middle of a finishing move somehow. I think it's because you're invincible in the middle of it. Anyway, yeah, it took me a while because there you go. You could deflect projectiles by just swinging your sword at it. I think this default sword that we have is called the Oni Slayer Blade. I'll have to double check that.
It's a nice touch.
It actually does become a mechanic later on in the game, the deflection, a proper one, and it's pretty annoying at times. So here we go. I was talking before that there was a way to counter fire. This is it.
Convenient. Very hot to hold that, but convenient.
Subjugated by the elements.
Well, yeah, there's coolers installed like directly into the shuriken. So that we got the Cyclone Shuriken. It is our first proper ranged weapon. The main disadvantage is that you have to sit still while using it. Oh yeah, we also have Ninja Vision, which it highlights all interactable objects in blue. Great for finding hidden items. So there are two different attacks that you can use with the Shuriken: a charged attack and just a press attack. Right now it's just teaching us about the charge attack. One unfortunate thing about the Shuriken is that when you're standing still, the left stick controls the camera during that animation, which is really annoying.
Oh.
I'm not as much upset about, about having to stand still during that flourish animation, but for some reason they decided to have camera control on the left stick during that part, which is really disorienting, especially if you're trying to make like finicky.
We may have to take points off for that control decision.
Yeah, we'll be taking a lot of points off over the course of this LP. So yeah, we picked up a first aid spray, and now we're going to do some upgrades while we're here. Gonna upgrade the Shuriken. Our battery's running low on our pause menu apparently. Yeah, we're gonna upgrade level 2 to our Shuriken. This next area has a lot of fire, so we're gonna want that level 2 Shuriken. Also, the chi meter, which is what powers our Shuriken, it recharges automatically. It's a little slow at the moment, but with upgrades later, it'll recharge a bit faster. So here we go. Oh god, look at all that fire! But thankfully, the tappy attack makes a large circular movement with the Shuriken, which is great for destroying fire, or putting out fire, I should say, and for stunning enemies. And we will be getting other element powers with the Shuriken as well.
So you can stun them with the Ninja Weed Whacker, but you can't kill them.
No, you can damage them. You can kill them as well. It just doesn't do as much damage.
Gotcha.
Every Shuriken is basically a different type of AoE attack.
Whoa.
Whoa.
What? What is it?
They didn't subtitle that for some reason. I do appreciate they have that extra like half-second cutscene before every QTE as like a subtle indicator of when you have to start paying attention. Also, I over the course of this playthrough, I actually failed quite a few QTEs, but I've cut them out. You probably haven't noticed. This game is actually really good at being able to make subtle edits like that. So anyway, this is the Pox Giant. He covers himself in fire. You have to destroy his fire with the Cyclone Shuriken. Unfortunately, he also has ground pound attacks like this, and because you're vulnerable and you stop moving during those attacks, it does not make for a great combination. This game's boss fights are kind of inconsistent. There's a lot of waiting in these boss fights. Thankfully, this is a boss fight that's actually fairly good, I think, all things considered. The only real waiting you have to do is for the chi meter. All things considered, it's not that bad. In hindsight, I really should have been using Ninja Vision a lot more. But, what am I going to do? I'm not playing this live. So yeah, using the charge up against this guy is a really bad idea, because he could just destroy you.
It doesn't look like there's anywhere safe to do it either.
No, not really. You have to time it based on the length of his attacks. And he also has to go through certain animation cycles, even if you've already taken out all of his health. You can kind of abuse some invincibility at the beginning of the Cyclone Shuriken, but it's only at the start. And you have to know like when it is. Like here, even though his health is down, he still has to go through that extra animation of him restoring his fire before the Totome appears. The Totome has a timer on it. Like you can kind of hear the sort of the rising chime that indicates the timer going down, and it's sort
Okay,
of
that's
a
what
back
that
and
was.
forth. Yeah, it's sort of a back and forth between grabbing all of the experience that drops on the ground versus the timer running out. And they regain a little bit of their health back if you fail to get the Toteme in time. But you have to end it on a Toteme, just because of the scenery change.
Eat this.
Also, I don't know what the Japanese characters are there. I think it just says Toteme.
Now, hopefully, it's dead this time. Oh, good. Defeated it.
And 3,000 healing crystals. Oh no!
Get out of there! The whole place is coming apart!
Thanks, Andy. Where would I be without you?
Still in the airplane.
Probably. So we got to escape, and we can use our ninja vision, which also slows down time, as well as lightning vision, as well as lighting the path for us. Ninja vision is really useful. It actually has multiple gimmicks, not just the one, which is great. And oh yeah, we're just gonna run down this building.
It's nice that you don't feel naked right out the gate. They give you enough tools that that you don't feel like you're being thrown against something completely insurmountable.
I think they kind of overdo it in this mission. Actually, you'll see what I mean later. But yeah, I haven't played the game on hard yet, but I feel like it might get crazier there. I don't think they increase the enemy numbers or thing. I think it's just a standard damage
Health
decrease. Health down, damage up, kind of, or health up, whatever that thing.
Level 5 barrier, spider type.
Oh no, level 5. That is the highest level. There are no numbers above 5.
I would hope not.
Ken! Use these!
We are at the 22-minute mark, and already we have 3 weapons. I think this game only has 8 or 9 weapons to begin with. So, yeah.
I'd like to know where his father's getting them from.
It's his personal arsenal, because he also has duplicates of them. So, yeah, these are the Twin Falcon knives. They're kind of like, I don't know, Dragon's Claw, Tiger's Fang from Ninja Gaiden, stuff like that. You're supposed... Oh, yeah, Ninja Vision, another great gimmick for it. It increases damage to enemies and to you when you are in Ninja Vision. So, yeah, typical risk-reward stuff. Twin Falcon knives are great in conjunction with the Cyclone Shuriken. You're supposed to be using it here, which is it's a lot better to use during those initial bats as opposed to the bigger bats here. Though really the Cyclone Shuriken's a lot better against the smaller foes.
2 blades are quicker than 1.
See, look, he also has his own Twin Falcon knives. He made extras for his son. He's a compassionate father that way.
They're one of a kind. Here's a copy.
Yeah, so now we can also use Ninja Vision to grab hidden items around there. They're also in blue, and what's over here, I wonder? Alright, so that is a Shinobi Moji. There is 1 Shinobi Moji in every mission, and we'll be grabbing them all. And it's going to get us something later.
Excellent.
So as you can also see, every enemy has their their level and their health bar, which is something that happens when you go into Ninja Vision. Yeah, the Cyclone Shuriken is great. I really like it. Uh-oh. Looks like we are insufficiently equipped to handle this enemy, even though we just got another weapon. These QTEs are much better when I'm not playing the game, so that I actually get a chance to appreciate the animation.
Well, I hit him as hard as I can. Time to go home.
We're just gonna let this spider destroy Tokyo. Oh, wait! Thanks, Dad. How am I supposed to leave the house if you keep throwing me weapons? I gotta work to buy my own weaponry. So yeah, we just got another weapon.
I hope the story never lets us find out what happens when you don't have his father. Don't ruin it.
Okay. So, yeah, this is we now have all 3 of the main melee weapons in the game already. We're barely half an hour in. We're not even, we're 25 minutes in. We already have our entire melee arsenal for the rest of the 9 hours or so that it will take to beat this game. You see what I say there's like pacing problems?
This is when From Software was generous.
Yeah. So yeah, the Stone Render sword is actually fairly broken, but we won't be getting into the details of why until next episode, because I want to at least show off what it's supposed to do during this part. It's a basic basic heavy weapon when you're using it intentionally.
Heads up, more on the way.
Yeah, more on the way. We heard you, Andy. And yeah, I think this is one of the few instances of the game where they actually just bother giving multiple reinforcements without some sort of extra special cutscene. This was before the days of, say, Bayonetta or Asura's Wrath, where this kind of idea of making a cinematic spectacle out of spectacle fighters as well as gameplay spectacle was a relatively novel idea. So it is pretty rough around the edges, but it was also kind of innovative for the time. So yeah, no matter what you do, this last enemy will always remain alive. Oh no, I forgot to edit that out. No matter what you do, this last enemy will always remain alive, so that you can crack that wall open, which is our next major gimmick.
Hold on.
So this cracked wall here. Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna run around and grab these.
Pickups.
Yeah, that lovely sound. So that cracked wall, that prompt won't open unless you have the Stone Render equipped. Same thing with the grapple points and the Twin Falcon knives, which is it's an inconvenience, but it is pretty annoying.
See it.
This way.
So we now have 2 big scale bosses for this chapter instead of just 1. Here's an interesting little mechanic here. While you're running along a wall, you could just jump over obstacles and continue running along the same wall, which is pretty neat. And of course we have the standard wall jumping.
Parkour.
Yes. What ninja would be complete without parkour? We just got adrenaline boost. Basically, it's a temporary power up. I'm trying to think of a Devil May Cry equivalent. Oh yeah, here's you have to have the twin knives equipped before you can actually use the grapple wire.
Okay.
Again, it's annoying. It's not a deal breaker, but it is a pace breaker.
Right.
Also, is it just me, or are Arachne's sound effects like surprisingly low quality compared to the rest of the sound of this game? It sounds tinny, I guess.
Generic giant spider sounds.
It's probably more like the actual the sound quality of it, like the audio quality itself.
No problem. You'll be home in time for your date.
So, I have to point out that Andy is a black guy in a Japanese game, and they've also mentioned that he has a family, and not only that he has a family at home, but he also has a date. I'm sure that this character will have a long and prosperous life, and that we'll be seeing him at the end of the game.
We're all rooting for Andy.
Yeah, Andy is the best character. He's gonna stick with us. I'm sure of it. Anyway, this is what I was talking about earlier about waiting bosses. Arachne has 3 phases, and all of them have a lot of waiting.
It's a lot of downtime where you can't lay damage on it.
Yeah, and plus, because those meteors are on fire, you can't deflect them. I was actually trying to, at one point I think I was trying to see if I could deflect them, but no, you can't, because the rule is it's on fire. I think you might be able to use the shuriken at some point, but you can dash out of the way of that pounding attack from the claws. It's a bit odd. The game never quite establishes the rules of what attacks are dodgeable but not blockable versus blockable but not dodgeable. It's a little inconsistent. Oh, come on now. That's just getting silly. Which of the two attacks he does appears to be RNG. Like I've had instances in previous runs that I didn't record where he only attacked with his claws, and other points where he would just spend like 2 or 3 minutes just constantly. Oh yeah, I just went back. I just faded away to another phase there because basically it's the same thing.
Gotcha. So it's a big combat loop.
Yeah, you can't even get you're not even able to damage it properly until Arachne's head is lowered there. But it does get us this pretty good QTE, which I kind of like. I knocked that wave back. Yeah, that's one of the few inputs that is always randomized, even on normal. Although it will only be one of the face buttons. Yeah, we'll just go through this. It's the same phase again.
So without the fast forward, how long did that take you?
It's about 6 or 7 minutes, I think. I don't remember. But it feels a lot longer. And now we're going into phase 2.
Attack on Titan.
Yeah, at this point we're exclusively attacking the legs, in a different arena here, and this is one of those instances where in this first phase, Arachne's legs are armored, and then you just do the phase again, but without the armor, which is again it's very annoying. There are not every boss is like this, thankfully, but the ones that are definitely are pace killers. And also, this takes longer than I'm normally used to, because I'm deliberately not using an exploit that we will see later on with the stone render. Also, yeah, the stone render, because of what was established earlier on in the story, you're only allowed to use the stone render on the Arachne's armor. Plus, the stone render is a lot better to use on the skin, even after you've broken the armor. So basically, you're awkwardly swinging around with the heavy weapon against an enemy like this, which is, yeah. When I say things like this game is a lot more fun to watch than it is to play, this is what I mean.
Oh, absolutely. I can see where he'd get you locked up if you were trying for slower attacks.
At least we have those bats around as walking health packs. Yeah, like the Y attack for the shockwave is a horrible idea to use on this fight, for instance. You can at least use Ninja Vision to slow down time, which combined with the dash could get you a little closer to Arachne's legs. And then at this point, Arachne just falls over, and you can start attacking its body. And again, I'd also recommend using Ninja Vision for this.
I was worried he was just going to lay there and take it.
Well, it did temporarily. And then we're just going to do that same phase again! I am being pretty merciful on this game's pacing problems, but just because it is pretty fun to watch. And this also has an absolutely amazing QTE sequence at the end here.
Working on it.
Although I kind of think that it'd be pacing to be improved a little bit if they just worked on cutting down the load times a bit. This is all in real time, which you'll see why, more evidence of that later on. But oh, okay, so we're fighting here. Not really working out, but okay.
Endure it.
Perfect endurance, but oh, okay. All right, I think Ken has an idea. I think he's got an idea.
Batter up.
Batter up indeed. Well, we got our ball, but it's still on a chain. I don't know. I think he's gonna do something. All right, we got our momentum. Here we go.
Oh my god.
This is so awesome. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, the first big boss of the game. And they just keep getting more ridiculous from here on out.
Alright. Sorry I doubted you, man.
And that's the end of chapter 1.
What was that?
That, my friend, was Ninja Blade.
Oh, wow.
And contained.
Oh, and he's still alive after that. Somehow Arachne didn't die. You can see him twitching.
Also, now he's speaking Japanese.
Yes. Well, yeah. He's speaking to his son.
Everyone on your guard. Stay alert. Move to your positions.
I should have taught you Japanese, but there wasn't time.
Yes, sir.
Well, you can't teach them anything if they're dead, Kuro. It's kind of how learning and the human brain works.
That's kind of a dick move.
I'm sorry.
Yuri Lowenthal was just having a goddamn blast on this game.
Yes. It would seem that way.
Uh-oh. I sense a twist.
This is crazy. Attack!
Yes, we saw those other guys before. I guess that now it'll work. Oh no! We are powerless against anime lines.
You think guns are gonna stop a ninja?
Yes,
Come on.
shooting. Bullets will definitely work.
Show me what you got. This is not
Oh.
happening. What the hell?
I'm supposed to die first. What are you doing? Shoot me instead.
Oh!
Oh no, Andy.
So much for that long and prosperous life.
Oh man. Should have stayed in bed this morning.
Andy, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, he wasn't the first on-screen character to die, so does it count as the black guy died first?
We're gonna give it to him.
He was the first character with a name.
Just the three of us now, Ken. You going to be stupid like the others? Or will you join us?
Join you. I don't even know who you are anymore.
Ooh. Them's fighting words, Ken.
I feel like this was meant to be an unwinnable boss, but they had to cut it. Either that, or they were going to get too many comparisons to Ninja Gaiden. And what happened with, what's his name, Doku?
Yeah.
Oh no, our dad betrayed us!
Everybody's betraying us today.
I hope I can figure out the chain puzzle on this sword in time. Damn it.
Listen, Dad, I can't do this right now. I gotta go call Andy's wife and his girlfriend and tell him he's dead.
Also, tell Andy's wife that he has a girlfriend. That's going to be an awkward conversation. It's like, I'm sorry about your husband. Oh, by the way, he was unfaithful. So, you know, that's something to think over while you're grieving.
That's when you frame it as a bad news, good news. Hey, bad news, your husband's dead. Good news, he was cheating on you.
Also, why that he not only did the cross there, but he did it backwards, I think.
Whatever.
Possibly.
So yeah, not only as our protagonist is dead at the start of chapter 1, that's not familiar at all.
Getting a real Ninja Gaiden vibe here, fellas.
Oh, hold on.
Getting a real Devil May Cry vibe
The
here,
sword is a
fellas.
ghost! Well, no, if it was a Devil May Cry vibe, he would, like, pull himself off of the sword. This is more like Marlowe Briggs, where the sword talks. Actually, I don't know what's happening with the sword, but... Also, check out this next plot twist here.
He was wearing an ID tag? Hi, my name is Ken?
Yeah, he's part of a military op. Also, his blood is poisonous. I get the feeling that should have a gameplay mechanic. Like, the more you bleed, the more it damages enemies, like a crutch for players doing badly. But they never address it outside of story. Sure, just wait for the hazmat crew. The man with poisoned blood. So there you go.
Oh, this is magical. This is amazing.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh,
It's so dumb. I love it.
this is a gem, sir.
Oh no, our pause menu battery is at 33%. Also, I got an A+ score. I think the maximum score is either A+ or S. I retried 4 times because restarting from checkpoint counts as a death. So there you go. That's mission 1 of 9 in this game, and there you go. This is the masterpiece of From Software. I love this game so much.
Hopefully in Mission 2, the pause menu gets better reception.
Oh yeah, it definitely will.